What's up, guys? We are back in the garage. Got something exciting. Just going to show you real briefly. Let's get in the garage, get this thing off the truck. So we've got another Facebook fix and flip. I've got the seat is inside the cab, so I got that down, but this is a Wilderness Trail 250. So it's a Baja. This thing looks sweet. Let's get this off the truck. I'm going to tell you how much I paid for it, what my plans are, and then see what we've got, huh? All right, guys, so here it is, second installment of the Facebook Fix It and Flip It. So this is a Baja Wilderness Trail 250 I picked it up off Facebook for $100. I'll show you, promise, not going to fudge the numbers. If I tell you what I paid, I'm not, not doing it to whatever, make myself look better. So $100 for this thing. Dude said it's been sitting, needs to be gone through everything so far. Obviously it's rough and it's sun faded. That's not a big deal. I've started taking off some plastics and stuff. I'm working outside today. It's just beautiful. But what I'm going to do is, I've noticed one plug is kind of chopped or pulled out, but luckily he did drain all the gas. There's no gas in the tank. One thing that sucks is I am missing a key, but it literally is just a little 4-prong ignition. So those are super easy to come by. I'll order one off Amazon tonight. All the tires are dry rotted, but they did pump up, so they're all holding air. Yeah, man, oil looks good. I checked the oil. So only thing I've done so far is I went ahead, aired up the tires because it was a pain to push them. They were kind of sloshy. So I aired up the tires. They're holding air. Checked the oil, got oil. And then, yeah, I'm just going to kind of go through it. I'm going to start taking all the plastics off so I can look at all my electronics and, go through the electrical and see what I got. Hopefully I can get the key in. I'm going to order a battery and then, start checking for spark. That's the first thing I do, check for spark. I'm going to pull the carburetor. I'm sure it's, like I said, he drained the gas, but I'm going to check the carburetor, pull the bowls, see what the jets look like. Hopefully get this bad boy going. If I can get it running and, it's decent, I'm going to clean it up. We might keep it to, put around. I've got some trails not far from my house, but if not, which is probably the case, we'll get it on Facebook, see what we can sell it for, and that'll be the next Fix It and Flip It Facebook find. So let's get this thing stripped down, huh? All right, guys, so I got this thing stripped down. Was kind of going through everything, checking it out. So this is pretty neat. So this is just an automatic. It's just one gear down. And then it's kind of weird. So the left handle is for the rear brake, and then the foot brake is for the front hydraulic. So that's kind of cool. It's different, a lot of different things on here. So it's shaft driven, which is nice. I'm going to check all of that, but at least we don't have to deal with the chain and none of that. The only downside is it'd probably be a little bit of a pain to stretch, but I don't think we're definitely not going to do any of that. That's not this type project. So yeah, this thing's neat too. It's got a little storage compartment in the back, keep all your paperwork or whatever, little toolkit. It's not bad. I mean, it's definitely dirty. It's been sitting. So I'm going to pull the plug next. Everything, all the turning bushings and stuff feel pretty good. A cheap replaceable part. The biggest thing I found is this is where the battery box sits, right? So this is where the starting solenoid should be. So it plugs into here, supposed to have a thing, and then the jump off, right? So you're supposed to have, this plugs in, and basically that's how you start it. So I'm gonna have to figure some stuff out. It's got fans, so that's kind of cool. So it's got cooling fans for the front. It's air cooled, obviously. Don't know how the starter, I need to probably, that's what I'll do, is I'll throw a battery and try to start it over. We'll try that in a second. But we've got it to a good point. This is a little screen. Can't really tell what it is. Can't wait to see how that looks out, but we've got everything off, man. We're going to clean this up real good. I've got a ton of extra parts. Here's the the rectifier. Let's see. Here's this little tiny CDI box. What else? It's pretty much it. I mean, it's a 250, so it's a solid little engine. You know, the oil looks good. It's dark, but there's at least oil in it. One thing I did notice is if you see here, when I hit the butterfly works with this, I think it may be a CV, but this thing is, yeah, this thing is definitely seen better days. You see that? Which it might. It's a CV. It's a CV carb. So basically you've got the butterfly, and then it's got the diaphragm up here. It looks like it's a 30 mil. You know, I've noticed the cracking here. I've got a big, nice new carb that I think I can, you know, use on here, but it's not going to be a CV carb. So we'll see what we think about that. With it not being a CV carb, it'll be just all on, which, I mean, might not be cool, or it might not be too bad. It's got reverse, and then it looks like a high gear, so I'm gonna have to watch some videos on that and see how all that works out. All right, so it's another day in the garage, guys. I have done a few little things off camera, so I have went ahead. I've got a new carb boot on here. I've got a carb that I'm going to use, so a new carb, so I'm going to put the carb in there. I've just got to figure out, it's got a different, it uses a different style throttle. It's got the little bead one versus this. So I'm working on that. I went ahead, pulled the messed up pull cord off of it. I've got the spark plug out, and honestly, this thing's got great pressure. So I pulled the plug, which I'm going to have to grab a new one. This one's about shot, but what I want to do is I wanted to check pressure. So I'm spinning the, you know, spinning the engine over. It turns good. So turns good. It's got good compression. So that's a good start. So next thing I'm going to do is, I've got this messed up wire that got pulled out, and I can see where it's got pulled out. So I am going to work on getting that back in there, get that fixed back in there, because I've got the plug coming for this. Got the battery on its way, waiting on parts today. You know, other little thing that's concerning is I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this wiring situation, so I need to pull this apart a little bit. I've ordered a completely new one. So I've got the ignition also on the way. So I've got my 4-plug ignition on the way. I do have a new one. This unfortunately got delayed. It's not going to be here today. So I don't know exactly, you know, I don't know what's going to work or not. I'm hoping to be able to get this thing to at least turn over today, so I could check it for spark. So I'm going to get the carb on. I'm going to work on, I'm pretty sure I've got a throttle cable that will work for another ATV. So I've got another throttle cable. I got to get hooked up, so get the carb on. And then what I also want to do is, I've got the gas tank, and the gas tank is clean. So I just need to put some fuel in it. I need to check and see if the, you know, if the petcock and everything's going to work too, right? Because you can have everything, have spark, blah, 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 new carburetor, but if the petcock's not going to work, then, you know, obviously it's not going to get fuel. So good news is it looks pretty clean down there. I don't, you know, it being plastic and not metal, it's you know, it's not going to rust, which is great. Could be a little bit of crud in there, so we're going to check that as well. So that's kind of on my to-do list, is get the carb on, get the new throttle cable on, start messing with the fuel. Hopefully by then all the parts will be in, fix the plug, and so on and so forth. So let's get to it. So that's a good looking carb. So I was able to use, like I said, I you know, adjusted ground down the attachment. You can see it in there. There's hoses everywhere, but throttle's working real good, nice and smooth. I'm going to put the filter on it. Shouldn't have any issues. The only issue I will see is, that's my choke. The choke is not going to be up on the handlebar, which is not really a big deal. I'll deal with that. Got to clean up some of the hoses and whatnot. This thing's got like a zillion hoses, like pulse pumps and so forth. So I'm going to figure that out. The air box is not going to no longer be included, so I could probably clean all that up, but I don't want to take anything off just yet so I can get it running. So Let's get that filter on. It's a cool little filter. Boom. Doesn't take up a ton of space. You know, it is super cool. The only downside of this is it's not in the box, right? So, but if you're running it through water like an ATV, you're going to get a little bit of a, you know, you have the opportunity to get water in the engine. So I might see if I can run a tube application to the stock box. That's what I'm going to check out now. All right, we got some parts. So first things first, got a fresh new battery. I've been using these things, man. These are super good for 29 bucks compared to some others. This is a solid little battery, and it fits. I just used it in the other ATV. It's got 8 amps cranking power or whatever output. So one of the most important thing is I've got the, I've got the starter solenoid. So this plugs into that plug that I was working with. Boom. Comes with the spare plug and a jumper. So this will go boom to the battery. And so I think I got everything to get this thing hopefully turning over. Next thing I got is the new ignition. It's a four prong. So just like what was on there. And then I always, guys, always, these are super cheap. Like I buy a pack of 4 of them for like $8. Put them on all my motorcycles, all my ATVs, because I got the battery tender. So this is fantastic. So when I'm hooking the battery up, this is going to go to the positive and the negative. I can plug it up so I can get a good full charge on my, you know, motorcycles, ATVs, whatever the case. And then what I usually do, like on the ATV, is I'll run it to the back, you know, zip tie it up, have it in a good location. Then I can just charge the thing, get it charged up before I go riding. I've got a, you know, fresh trail, you know, fresh battery before the trail. So just boom, boom, and then you just plug it up. So super, super sweet. All right, that's it. I'm excited. I'm rambling. Let's get this on the ATV. All right, we got some gas in it. We're gonna turn it on. Let's see what we can get her to do. So let's see. Gas is on. Gas is flowing. Let's see. It's hard to tell which way it's on. Should be on. Looks like I've got that ignition on. That's a good spin. Oh, I just fixed that, so that's that. Good start. Do a little choke on her. Well. I put some WD-40 in the engine, so. Gonna smoke. I put WD-40 in the cylinder. All right, so I got these just hanging up. They're sanded down. I've got them down with the 80, then my, you know, my 120 grit. They feel pretty good. They're still a little rough. I did a test spot. I just wanted to see. I just sprayed it with my primer. I just wanted to see exactly what I was gonna have there. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna get some finer grit, so I'm gonna step it up to, you know, 300, 500. I want to get it fairly smooth. I don't want it to be super rough. So it's coming along. I'm not trying to paint this thing in one night, so I'm gonna get some more sandpaper and we'll get back at it. What's up, guys? We are going on an adventure today. So haven't really done a review, but we've got the Facebook Flip four-wheeler dialed in, got the seat covered, painted, new tires, everything's on. This thing is awesome. So what we're gonna do, it's Memorial Day weekend, we are gonna shoot up to the mountains, meet my dad up in West Virginia, and go have some fun, man. We're gonna take the four-wheelers, ride some mountains, see how it does. Once I get it back, we'll put it on Facebook and sell it. Let's go after it. lean towards me, okay? Because we're gonna have to go up a little bit. Yeah, so we just gotta shift our weight forward. It's fun, huh, Kimmy?